May we inquire from the BJMP, the official custodian, if it is necessary that Ramil Madriaga, while inside this proceeding, is still in handcuff? May we know the protocol? BJMP, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Pwede po nating tanggalin ngayon.
If your rule allows, please do so.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. To read his supplemental affidavit. Do you have with you the copy?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Yes, if there are no objections from the members, then we give the floor to Madriaga to read his supplemental affidavit.
Madam Chair.
For the guidance of the members, we also direct the COMSEC, if it is possible, to flash in the screen the supplemental affidavit of the resource person as he read the same. Kindly provide as well copies of the supplemental affidavit to all the members. And flash the same in the screen as the resource person read the contents of the supplemental affidavit. You may proceed, Mr. Madriaga. Please read your supplemental affidavit.
Opo, salamat po, Madam Chair. Supplemental affidavit. I, Ramil L. Madriaga of legal age, Filipino and with address at care of Annex 2, BJMP Camp Bagong Diwa, Taguig City, after having been duly sworn in accordance with law, do hereby state, 1. I am currently a detainee at Camp Bagong Diwa, Taguig City, for charges of kidnapping, criminal case number RMNL-22-05157-CR, and R-MNL-22-05158, pending before the Regional Trial Court, Branch 21, RTC Manila. 2. On November 29, 2025, I executed an affidavit which was subscribed and sworn to before Attorney Cynthia Biñas Pentonal on the same day. In my affidavit, I narrated my involvement with then President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, PRRD, his daughter Sara Duterte, Sara, other members of their family, and their close associates. More specifically, I provided a personal account of the various works I did for the aforementioned individuals, including campaign and organizing activities, intelligence gathering and sabotage, and transportation of large sums of money under the direct instructions of either PRD or SARA. 3. With my consent, my affidavit was submitted and referred to the Office of the Ombudsman through a letter dated December 15, 2025. 4. After I executed my affidavit, I learned that Sara denied any affiliation with me and that she has no personal or professional relationship with me. She added that she has never given me any instruction of any kind. 5. I received through my counsel a copy of complaint dated March 4, 2026, filed by Sara or BP Sara herself before the Office of the City Prosecutor, Taguig City, for perjury. In her complaint, BP Sara reiterated that she has no personal or professional relationship with me. In fact, prior to the dissemination of the Madriaga affidavit, BP Sara had no recollection of knowing, meeting, or interacting with me. 6. However, her denial of any affiliation with me is absolutely false. She lied under oath in her perjury complaint against me. Hence, I decided to execute a supplemental affidavit providing further details on the narration I made in my previous affidavit with additional accounts of other orders, tasks, or works given to me by either PRD or SARA or BP SARA. Engagement activities with President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. 7. Prior to the 2016 national elections campaign, I was working for then Congressman Roylo Goles as one of his political officers specializing in intelligence gathering and sabotage operations. Congressman Goles decided to support the candidacy of PRRD. Hence, he introduced me and endorsed my services to PRRD during their meeting at the latter's residence in Taal Street, Bangkal, Davao City, around the 2015 or early 2016. He mentioned to PRRD that I was previously under detention and that I later survived death row. Congressman Goles also added that I am his #1 asset in the National Security Council during his time as National Security Advisor. 9. When PRRD was elected president, Cong Goles' brother, Ferdinand Goles, was appointed as a member of the Board of Directors or the Base Conversion and Development Authority, BCDA. On the other hand, PRRD directed me to serve as a counterintelligence agent for the National Security Council. 10. However, I was never under the employ of the Office of the President or any government agency. Instead, I was directly employed by PRRD. I received my salary from a certain Canlas, a PNP officer, previously from Davao, at the start of every month in the amount of 100,000 pesos to 150,000 pesos in cash. 11. As part of my duties, PRRD specifically instructed me to monitor, operate, and sabotage former Senator Trillanes. However, PRRD was apprehensive in ordering the assassination of Senator Trillanes because of the latter's support and contact in the armed forces of the Philippines. 12. Sometime in 2018, PRRD asked VP Sara, to go to his home in Taal Street, Bangkal, Davao City, to discuss upcoming local elections in Davao City, where VP Sara was going to run for re-election as mayor. During this meeting, PRRD introduced me to Sara and told me, "Ram, ikaw na bahala kay Inday." Since then, I've frequently met and discussed with VP Sara, then Mayor Sara, regarding various matters. However, she gave me strict instructions that all conversations should be done as much as possible by call and minimize text messages. 13. Furthermore, PRRD also asked me to profile individuals associated with VP Sara, then again Mayor Sara, because she is his favorite among his children. PRRD wanted VP Sara in politics instead of Paulo Duterte, Pulong, and Sebastian. Sometimes in 2021, PRRD gave me 25 million to purchase high-end motorcycles for Sara's use while she is in Metro Manila and other ordinary motorcycles for our group operations. 15. Hence, I bought two 2021 model Harley-Davidson motorcycles from a dealership in Green Hills, EDSA for around 2,500,000 pesos, inclusive of accessories, and around 2 million pesos exclusive accessories, respectively. Both Harley-Davidson motorcycles were placed under the name of my son. I also purchased two 2021 model Ducati motorcycles from a dealership in Katipunan, Quezon City for around 3,500,000 pesos and around 2,300,000 pesos, respectively. In addition, I also bought accessories for these Ducati motorcycles in the total amount of 500,000 pesos. Both the Ducati motorcycles were placed under my name. 17. Lastly, I also purchased 7 Yamaha NMAX motorcycles for the operation of Initiative for Social Justice Innovation and Progress Pilipinas, or ISIP Pilipinas. The remaining money was distributed to my colleagues in ISIP Pilipinas. 18. All purchases of these motorcycles, including the aforementioned accessories, were paid in cash using the money given to me by PRRD. Custom magnetic lifter transaction with Attorney Manscarpio. Sometime in 2017 or 2018, PRRD told me to assist the husband of Sara, Attorney Manasseh Manscarpio, regarding a problem with the Bureau of Customs. However, no specific details were provided by PRRD. Thereafter, Attorney Mans called me. We later decided to meet in front of a coffee shop in Burgos Circle in Bonifacio Global City, Taguig City. During our conversation, he asked me to assist in facilitating the release of what he called construction equipment, which was plugged and confiscated by the Bureau of Customs. Attorney Mans gave me a contact person, a female lawyer, to coordinate with it regarding the BOC problem. After 2 days, I went to the BOC to meet the female lawyer to discuss the release of construction equipment. This time, I learned that the construction equipment was actually magnetic lifters. The same were confiscated because it contained a large amount of shabu. However, the female lawyer informed me that it was difficult to release the same because it was a hot item. 22. I reported this to Attorney Manson. We meet again in the same spot in BGC, Taguig City. This was the last time we met regarding the issue. Later, I learned that the content of the magnetic lifters is at least 500 kilograms of shabu worth 4.3 billion pesos were mysteriously missing. Dummy accounts and bank transaction of PRD. Despite only earning 100,000 pesos or to 150,000 pesos from my services to PRD, millions of pesos went through bank accounts opened for me by close associates of PRD. I admit that during PRD's term as president, I served as a dummy for the transfer of large amount of money. These transfers were made through bank accounts that were opened under my name, which include but are not limited to the following: China Bank, Legazpi Village, Makati City; China Bank, Main Makati City; China Bank near the Power Station at Ayala, Makati City; PNB Makati Metropolitan Avenue Branch, Makati City; an unknown bank in Pasig City, Si Raimundo.
If I may interrupt, Mr. Madriaga, COMSEC, kindly continue flashing on the screen the pages of the affidavit from where the resource person is reading. And kindly speak closer to the microphone, Mr. Madriaga,
Opo,
please.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Please continue.
25. However, I have never personally opened these accounts or appeared before the said banks to process any application in relation thereto. These were opened by people close to PRRD, who informed me that money will be transferred to these accounts for intelligence operation and for laundering. I was later instructed to sign an entire checkbook where the amounts and pays are left blank. I agreed to do this because at the time I had complete trust in PRD and his close associates. 26. On some occasions, PRD would call me to inform me that someone from the aforementioned bank would contact me to confirm a withdrawal or encashment of checks. There were also instances that where PRD would instruct me to personally visit the said banks to pick up the money and bring it to Malacanang or to the designated individuals. I distinctly remember that PRD directed me on 3 separate occasions to pick up 100 million from a bank inside the mall in Lubao, Pampanga, which were all delivered to Malacanang. On another incident, I was informed by PRRD that the 2 land bank managers' check which were to be delivered to one of our safe houses in Eastwood, Quezon City, in the amounts of 84,200,000 pesos and 4,800,000 pesos, respectively, were issued under my name. Copies of the 2 land bank managers' checks are hereby attached as annexes A and A-1. 28. To prove the aforementioned allegations, I am willing to execute an affidavit, authorization, or any other document, and to perform all acts necessary for Committee on Justice of the House of Representatives or the courts to access the aforementioned bank accounts and all other bank accounts under my name. Term sharing and destabilization efforts. 29. Sometime in November 2021, PRD mentioned to me that Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. will run for the president while Sara will serve as his running mate. PRD added that a few months ago, BBM and Senator Amy Marcos visited him to discuss a possible alliance to the 2022 national elections. During this meeting, BBM was able to convince PRD to have Sara as BBM's vice president. However, they also agreed that by 2025, BBM will voluntarily step down to give way for a Sara presidency. After Sara took her oath as vice president, PRRD had a discussion with me, with retired generals of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, where I was also present regarding all the possible scenarios for unseating BBM by 2025. In case he reneged on his promise, the general objective was to ensure that PBBM will only serve less than 4 years of his term as president, so that Sara, upon assumption to the presidency, will still be eligible for the presidency in 2028. 31. I remember that one of the plans considered was to sabotage BBM's administration by using some of BBM's own men, either recommended by PRRD for appointment or allied with the Dutertes, to reveal supposed corruption issues that will serve as a precursor for an impeachment for complaint. 32. In the event that BBM will not voluntarily step down or hand over the presidency to Sara, extraordinary measures of overthrowing BBM will be considered, which include assassination, mass resignation of government officials, civil disobedience, and even an armed assault of Malacanang Palace. It was also considered by PRRD to arrange assassination or armed hits of several government officials in order to cause massive civil unrest. The resulting civil unrest will be used as basis to organize a group of military officers to stage a coup. 33. One of my assignments was to recruit civil groups, schools, clubs, fraternities, criminal groups, and syndicates. Inday Sara is my president, ISIP, at 2022 national elections campaign. 34. In 2020, I was instructed by PRRD and Sara to help form a group to support Sara's candidacy for president in the 2022 national elections. Hence, I helped establish and register a non-profit corporation called Initiative for Social Justice Innovation and Progress, or ISIP Pilipinas, Incorporated. But to us supporters of Sara, ISIP actually stands for Inday Sara is my president. I helped establish ISIP together with some friends of VP Sara and alumni of San Sebastian College of Law, SSC Law, including Assistant Special Prosecutor Ryan Ray Kilala of the Office of the Ombudsman and his wife, Aurea Fortuna Kilala. A screenshot of one of ISIP's video conference meetings where Sara and Attorney Ryan were present is here to attach as Annex B. A photo of Attorney Reynold Monsayac wearing an Inday Sara is my president is here to attach as Annex B-1. 35. I got close with Attorney Ryan, who was previously a professor of Sara and former associate dean of SSC Law. He shared with me that Sara was not particularly good in school, was often struggling with her academics, and habitually rude and violent to other students. Hence, Attorney Ryan used his influence in San Sebastian College of Law to ensure that Sara received passing grades despite her poor academic performance. 36. Attorney Ryan and his wife became quite close to me and my family that they agreed to serve as godparents in my son's wedding. A photo of Attorney Ryan and Rhea taken during my son's wedding is here to attach as Annex C. Shortly after we organized ISIP, I was informed by PRRD that funding will be made available for the activities of ISIP through the contribution of his friends and supporters. One of those friends and supporters is Lin Wei Zhong, who was the financial officer of Parmalee Pharmaceuticals. Sometime in June or July 2021, PRRD informed me that someone will call me to directly coordinate the turnover of 175 million to fund ISIP's organizing efforts, promotional and campaign activities. Thereafter, a man called me to proceed to the basement parking of Seda Hotel, Quezon City, to pick up the said amount. Thus, I hurriedly went to the place with my cousin Rosendo Madriaga. As I recall, the money was placed inside several large backpacks and bags, which were handed to me at basement of parking of Seda Hotel, Quezon City. I loaded the same to my white Toyota Land Cruiser. Lin Wei Zhong was present when I received the said amount together with two other individuals. He then asked me where will the money be used. I informed him that this will be used to fund election of Sara, to which he replied, good, good. 40. I directly brought this money to my house for safekeeping. Thereafter, I used this money to fund the campaign activities of ISIP across the country and to establish, organize, and maintain its chapters for the purpose of promoting Sara's presidential bid in 2022 national election. Some of these chapters include Quezon, Binangonan, Bicol, Antipolo, Quezon City, Zambales, Leyte. Photos of ISIP Pilipinas activities are here to attach as annexes D to D-7. 41. The expenses for the activities include costs for merchandise, travel, accommodations, rental fees for offices, lump sum distribution to identified leaders who in turn pledged to organize for Sara in their respective communities, and allowances of volunteers and organizers. However, upon the request of Attorney Ryan, I personally delivered 15 million to him in his office at the Office of the Ombudsman. From time to time, PRD would talk to me to check if there is still sufficient funding for ISIP. When the initial amount funding ran out, I promptly informed him and he directed me to get another 100 million pesos from Maestrado Lim, who we call Tanda, at the Hyatt Regency in Bonifacio Global City, Taguig City. The money was placed in several bags and were handed to me by Maestrado Lim. 43. I distinctly remember Maestrado Lim because he previously mentioned during one of our meetings in Davao City that he hated Filipinos in general and Filipino businessmen in particular, stating that peste yung mga Pilipino, yung mga businessman walang kwenta. Aside from Lin Weijong and Maestrado Lim, I also remember that Michael Yang, a very close friend of PRRD, who was frequently financial support to ISIP Pilipinas. 45. On September 29, 2021, and despite our extensive campaign activities, I was informed by Sara that she will no longer run for president and will instead run for as BBM's vice president in 2022 elections. This decision caused deep frustration among the members of ISIP. Hence, we organized a video conference with Sara where I personally asked her to reconsider her decision, as we have already poured some substantial effort toward promoting her candidacy for president through ISIP. During our video conference, I also noticed the painting I personally gave her as a gift. A screenshot of our video conference is here to attach as Annex A. 46. On the same day, I posted the screenshot of our video conference of my Facebook account with the caption, just telling her I cannot vote intelligently without her name on the ballot. Neither can go out and vote wisely unless the same Inday Sara Duterte Carpio appears as a candidate in the 2022 presidential race, ISIP Pilipinas. A printout of the Facebook post dated September 29, 2021 is here to attach as Annex F.
Mr. Madriaga, would you like to drink water first
Yes, Your Honor. If I
to
may.
give you some relief? This is quite a lengthy affidavit. Please provide him some water.
Thank you po, Madam Chair. Can I proceed na, Madam Chair?
Yes, you may.
46. On the same day, I posted the same screenshot of our video conference on my Facebook account with the caption, just telling her I cannot vote intelligently without her name on the ballot. Neither can go out and vote wisely unless the name Inday Sara Duterte Carpio appears as a candidate to presidential race, Pilipinas. A printout of the Facebook post dated September 29, 2021 is here to attach.
May I know what's happening to you, Mr. Madriaga? You seem to be crying. Are you crying?
I just remember one moment.
Are you crying?
I just,
You are nearly crying. May I just put it on record that while reading these portions of the affidavit, the resource person, Ramil Madriaga, is breaking into tears. Can we go back to where you felt frustrated and You're nearly crying. Which part of your affidavit is that? Can we go back to that?
Number 46 po, Madam Chair.
Number 46. Let's go back to number 46. Okay, you may read from 46, Mr. Madriaga.
On the same day, I posted the screenshot of our video conference on my Facebook account with the caption just telling her I cannot vote intelligently without her name on the ballot. Neither can go out and vote wisely unless the name in Sara Duterte Carpio appears as a candidate in the 2022 presidential race.
Would you like
47.
to say something
No,
about why you are crying on this part of the affidavit?
hindi naman, malungkot lang po.
Malungkot. Okay, please proceed.
Madam Chair, can we allow the witness to please?
Honorable
get his-
Dumogan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can we allow the witness to please get his
Yes.
composure before he will continue?
Yes, we are temporarily suspending to give time to Mr. Madriaga to console himself.
Sabuatan sa kaban ng bayan, sa likod ng format ngiti sa entablado.
Maybe we can recognize first Attorney Terry Redon, Congressman Terry Redon, if he has other concerns about the affidavit. What's the pleasure of the Honorable Redon? Because it is on your motion, on your request that Mr. Madriaga is reading this affidavit. It causes him to cry a lot.
I think we have to let him finish the affidavit, the reading of the supplemental affidavit until the very end, Madam Chair. And he should be allowed to proceed as soon as he has composed himself. Madam Chair.
May I proceed, Madam Chair?
Are you ready?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Okay, you may proceed, Mr. Madriaga.
47, nevertheless, Sara proceeded to run as BBM's Vice President of the Unity ticket. I continued assisting her campaign for Vice President during campaign sorties. I served as advance party to municipalities, cities, provinces where Sara was scheduled to visit and campaign. In several of these campaign sorties, I personally joined Sara together with other members and volunteers of ISIP, which to us now refer to Inday Sara para sa ikalawang Pangulo. Photos of Sara and me in several campaign sorties are here to attach as Annex G to G-3. 48. During one of the activities of ISIP in Bataan, I got to know a group of farmers who were asking for assistance because of land grabbing incidents in their area. I tried assisting them and I discovered that the entity behind the land grabbing in First Bataan Maribeles Holdings Corporation. More than a year later, I informed Sara about this concern and she told me to bring the group to one of her residences in Metro Manila located at Serendra Bonifacio Global City, Taguig City. I asked the group of farmers to wait outside of Serendra as I went to talk to Sara. When I mentioned to Sara the First Bataan Maribeles Holdings Corporation is the one involved in the land grabbing incidents, she told me that she cannot do anything and that she will no longer meet with the group of farmers. Through ISIP, I also came to know Attorney Reynold Monsayak, who likewise provided valuable support to ISIP. In recognition of his efforts, ISIP awarded him a certificate of recognition and appreciation at Nomu Bashu, Thomas Morato, Quezon City. Attorney Monsayak was later appointed as the spokesperson of the Office of the Vice President. A copy of the certificate of recognition and appreciation dated June 29, 2022 is hereto attached as Annex H. Number 51. The certification of recognition and appreciation was handed by Attorney Ryan to Attorney Monsayak at Nomu Bashu, Thomas Moratoco, Quezon City, where I was also present. A photo of Attorney Ryan handing the certification of recognition and appreciation to Attorney Monsayak is here to attach as Annex I. Election of Sara as Vice President and OBP confidential funds. Number 52. After the election of Sara as Vice President, she invited me to attend her inauguration at the San Pedro Square, Davao City on June 19, 2022. A photo of Sara and me during her inauguration in Davao City is here to attach as Annex J. A photo of an email thanking me for my attendance during her inauguration in Davao City is here to attach as Annex J-1. Number 53. I was then tasked to provide security intelligence work through the formation of Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group. During this time, I introduced and recommended Colonel Dennis Nolasco, one of my best students in the Presidential Security Group, to assist this matter. Number 54. Colonel Nolasco then tapped the services of Colonel Raymond Dante La Chica to head the BPSPG. Afterwards, I worked with both Colonels Nolasco and La Chica from July 2022 to April 2023 for tactical transport services, security of Sara and other VIPs, handing and conveying and highly confidential information, and the transportation of large amount of money to several persons as instructed by Sara. Money deliveries under the instruction of Sara. In the morning of December 20, 2022, Sara called me and she said, "Sir Ram, please coordinate with Colonel Nolasco. Meron tayong deliver sa San Pablo, Laguna, sa night strip, at sa Ombudsman." Sara added, "Bawi tayo sa kanila later." Later, I received a text message from her indicating the places of delivery, which include San Pablo, Laguna, night strip, Office of the Ombudsman, and the corresponding contact numbers. Number 56. Later that morning, Colonel Nolasco sent me a text message directing me to go to the DepEd Central Office in Pasig City, beside Ultra at around 1:30 p.m. for the transport. Transport is a shorthand for delivery or transportation of large sums of money between Colonel Nolasco and me upon the instruction of Sara. After receiving the text message, I hurriedly prepared and went to the DepEd Central Office together with 4 other individuals: Richard Babagay, Arman Villanueva, a certain Chip, and a certain Ruel. Number 58. Richard and I were aboard my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser, while Arman, Ruel, Noel, and Chip came in Toyota Grandia with the sticker Inday Sara Champura Duterte attached to both sides of the van. Richard was driving my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser and Chip was driving the Toyota Grandia. A photo of the Toyota Grandia with the sticker Inday Sara Champura Duterte on both sides of the van is here to attach as Annex K. A photo of my blue FJ Cruiser is here to attach as Annex K-1. Number 59. As we parked my Toyota FJ Cruiser near the main entrance of DepEd, Colonel Nolasco appeared from the main entrance and approached our vehicle. I alighted to the vehicle to meet Colonel Nolasco, and we talked while we waited for the arrival of Colonel La Chica. He mentioned that they will also provide a red Mazda sedan, which will be used to deliver the money to the Office of the Ombudsman. At around past 3 or 4 p.m., 2 government vehicles with red plates entered the DepEd compound, and then Colonel Nolasco told me, "Ayan na, ayan na." Colonel La Chica appeared with a lady who I later learned to be Special Disbursement Officer Gina Acosta. Thereafter, 4 large dark bags were unloaded from the vehicles. 3 large dark bags, and 1 lighter colored and relatively smaller bag. Colonel Nolasco told me that each bag contained around 30 million pesos to 35 million pesos. The 4 bags were brought to where Colonel Nolasco and I were standing, which was near my blue Toyota FJ. Afterwards, I signaled Arman and Richard to load the same to our vehicles. The two large dark bags were placed in the Toyota Grandia, and 1 large dark bag and 1 lighter colored bag were placed in my blue FJ Cruiser. The bags loaded to the Toyota Grandia were to be delivered separately to San Pablo, Laguna, and Nomu, Bashu, Tomas Morato, Quezon City on the same day. The remaining bags, initially loaded to my blue FJ Cruiser, were immediately transferred to the red Mazda sedan prior to our departure from the DepEd compound and were to be delivered to the Ombudsman parking lot the following day. Then, the red Mazda sedan proceeded directly to my residence in Cainta, Rizal, and was driven by Renoel. Before leaving DepEd Central Office, Colonel Nolasco told me to get my share from the said bags, and he and Colonel La Chica have already taken theirs. Hence, I took 1 million pesos for myself from the lighter colored bag loaded to the red Mazda sedan. That's when I verified that the contents of the bags were bundles of cash in 1,000 denominations and packed in stacks of 1 million pesos, each tightly sealed in transparent plastic. We, Blue Toyota FJ Cruiser and Toyota Grandia, left DepEd Central Office past 5 p.m., heading to San Pablo, Laguna. As we approached Laguna, I called the contact number provided by Sarah, informing the designated recipient that we are on our way. However, I was directed to proceed to Cabuyao, Laguna instead. We arrived in Cabuyao, Laguna past 8 p.m. and were then instructed to proceed to an area inside the industrial park to meet individuals who were designated to receive the first bag for a politician in Laguna. As we approached the designated place, I can clearly see from our vantage point an SNR membership shopping establishment. Upon arrival, I immediately saw 3 persons standing in wait beside the dark sports utility vehicle. One of them proceeded to the Toyota Grandia and took 1 of the bags. We immediately left after the delivery of the first bag. 65. Thereafter, we proceeded to Nomu Bashu, Tomas Morato, Quezon City, a comedy bar we call the Night Strip, frequented by SSC Law alumni including Attorney Ryan and Attorney Monsayak. 66. I am quite familiar with Nomu Bashu because I had previously visited it several times in relation to my work with Sarah and ISIP Pilipinas. In fact, this is the same place where ISIP gave Attorney Monsayak a certification of recognition and appreciation. We arrived at Nomu Bashu around 12 midnight. I went inside the establishment with Arman, who was carrying the second bag. I immediately saw Attorney Monsayak, who was at the time in the middle of the place together with a woman and several men. When he saw me, he stood up and signaled for us to go upstairs. We then proceeded to the stairs leading to the second floor. Arman walked ahead of me while I followed him. Before I got to the second floor, I saw a man who came out of the room and received the bag from Arman. After that, we proceeded to exit the premises, and as I was passing near the table of Attorney Monsayak, I looked at him and he nodded. And we completed the delivery to Nomu Bashu We stopped to eat around the area while eating. I told Arman and Richard to meet me at my house in Cainta, Rizal, later that day at 8 a.m. Number 70. At around 8 a.m. the same day, the team met in my residence at Cainta, Rizal before we traveled to the last location, OMB parking area. This time, however, we only used my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser and the red Mazda sedan, where the remaining 2 bags were previously placed. We left my residence at around 8:30 a.m. Richard was driving my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser, while Arman and another person, Noel, and he brought along were aboard the red Mazda sedan. '71. When we arrived, the guard gave a signal directing us to park in a specific area in the Ombudsman parking lot. We proceeded to the specific area and parked red Mazda sedan, where the remaining 2 bags of money were placed. We left the keys on top of the left front of the wheel, which is our usual practice when delivering large amounts of money. 72. Previously and upon direct instructions of PRD, Sarah, I've also delivered money to Ombudsman Samuel Martires or Tony Ryan, which I usually place inside an open trunk of a designated car. Number 73. After completing the last delivery, we left the Ombudsman compound aboard my blue Toyota FJ Cruiser. A few years later, I read from several media reports that 125 million OBP confidential funds in 2022 were reportedly utilized in just 11 days. This is wrong because I personally disposed the money in less than 24 hours. Sarah attempt to visit me at Annex 2 BJMP Camp Bagong Diwa.
You can
Numbers-
drink some water, Mr.
Yes.
Madriaga.
Yes,
Drink some water.
Thank you po, sir. Issue. May I proceed, Madam Chair po?
Feel free to start whenever you want.
Number 74. A few years later, I read from several media reports that the 125 million pesos OBP confidential funds in 2022 were reportedly utilized in just 11 days. This is wrong because I personally disposed the money in less than 24 hours. Sarah's attempt to visit me at Annex 2 BGMP Camp Bagong Diwa. Number 75. Sometime in October 2025, after I got arrested for alleged kidnapping, I was called by Jail Warden Jose Marie Sabiniano in his office. As I made my way to the office of Jail Warden Sabiniano, I was surprised to see Sarah through the metal railings of the passageway. She smiled and waved at me. Number 76. When I entered the office of the Jail Warden Sabiniano, he asked me if I know Attorney Joyce. I replied, Joyce dapat, and Jail Warden Sabiniano handed me a phone. When I said hello, I recognized the voice of Sarah, and she asked me about my well-being and conditions inside the detention facility. She was also apologetic for failing to do something or assist in my ongoing criminal case. 77. Frankly, I felt bad and disappointed given that Attorney Harry Roque filed the case against me in retaliation after I tried to expose his land grabbing activities in Maribeles, Bataan, together with his Philippine offshore gaming operator partners. As I previously mentioned, I was merely trying to assist the farmers of the said area who were supposed to be awarded of their certificate of land ownership awarded by the Department of Agrarian Reform, but fell victim to Attorney Harry Roque's activities. Attorney Roque and his POGO partners wanted to convert the said place into a POGO hub after he facilitated the transfer of at least 60 land titles to First Bataan Maribeles Holding Corporations. In fact, Danny Corral, President and Chief Executive Officers of First Bataan Maribeles Holding Corporations, is also an incorporator of Lucky South 1999 Outsourcing Incorporated and Lucky South 1999 Corporation, which were involved in POGO operations in Pampanga. Number 80, more importantly, I felt betrayed that despite all my efforts to support Sarah, to the extent of even committing high-risk acts for her and her family, she did not lift a finger to stop Harry Roque, who is her known ally and supporter, from filing the unfounded kidnapping case against me. In witness hereof, I here and to set my hand this April 11, 2026 in Taguig City. Appointed signed Ramil Madriaga. That will be all your, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Madriaga. Are you okay?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm okay.
You think you are in the best position now to give your testimony? Yes?
Yes, Madam Chair.
You want a house doctor to check on you first before we continue?
No,
You're
lang po.
okay?
I'm okay, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Are you ready for clarificatory questions on your affidavit?
Yes, Madam Chair.
All right. Thank you. Now we recognize again the Honorable Terry Ridon.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Abante, is that point of order?
no, it's just,
With the indulgence of Congressman
Yes.
Ridon, you may
Please.
proceed.
may I just be allowed to also ask after Congressman Riton some questions? As
After Congressman
I mentioned
Ridon.
that in my manifestation.
Let's hear first the clarificatory questions from Congressman Ridon.
Bago ho natin napasukin yung mga tanong, balikan lang ho natin supplemental affidavit to just confirm the contents of the affidavit. So you confirm po all of the contents that you had read in this supplemental affidavit.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes po, Madam Chair.
You also confirm that this is your signature in that affidavit above Ramil L. Madriaga Afayant.
Opo, Madam Chair.
You also confirm that it was subscribed and sworn to on the 11th of April 2026 in Taguig City.
Opo, Madam Chair.
We are also reading for the record that the document was notarized by Jose Lorenzo Angeles III, Notary Public of Taguig City, Philippines, roll number 95960. We will proceed, Madam Chair, to the questions. Marami po kayong binanggit sa dalawang affidavits na binanggit po ninyo, yung affidavit and yung pong supplemental affidavit. So, very important ho na mag-focus lang po tayo doon sa talagang may relevancy. Dito po sa mga grounds for impeachment, impeachable offenses, laban po sa atin pong pangalawang Pangulo. No? So, binabanggit po ninyo, Ginoong Madriaga, na meron pong mga pinagawa sa inyong mga bagay. So, kasama po dito yung pagkuha at pag-deliver ng mga items, particularly confidential funds, to 3 very specific locations. Tama po ba ito?
Tama po, Madam Chair.
Nabanggit niyo po ito, no? So, meron sa Laguna, meron, tama po ba?
Opo, tama po, Madam Chair.
Meron po sa Nomu Bashu.
Opo, Madam Chair.
At saan po yung panghuling lugar?
Sa Agham po, Office of the Ombudsman.
Office of the Ombudsman. Siguro, we have to state for the record clearly, sino po yung nag-utos sa inyo na kunin ang pera na ito at i-deliver po ang mga pera na ito sa tatlong mga lokasyon po na ito?
Vice President Sara Duterte.
Maraming salamat po sa inyo pong sagot. Very important po na maglinaw ho tayo doon sa mga binabanggit po ng atin pong pangalawang Pangulo patungkol sa inyo. Kasi very specific yung pong kanyang binabanggit sa kanya pong complaint affidavit laban sa inyo in the perjury case na hindi niya po kayo kilala, wala po daw kayong relasyong personal at wala po kayong relasyong professional. Ano po yung totoo sa bagay po na ito? Do you deny this particular general statement of the Vice President?
Hindi po totoo yun, Madam Chair.
Ano po yung pinakabatayan po ninyo para masabi na hindi po totoo ang sinasabi ng pangalawang Pangulo? Una, na hindi niya kayo kilala. Pangalawa, na wala po kayong professional or personal relationship.
Una po, Madam Chair, marami pong makakapagpapatunay na mga opisyal sa gobyerno tsaka mga kasama namin sa isip na mayroon kaming mga naging pagpupulong. Bukod pa po dito, mga meeting po sa, lalo na nung eleksyon, na halos kasama ko siya 24 hours, minsan overnight pa, sa isang resort. Kasama ko po din ang mga PSG. Kaya kilala po niya ako at kilala ko rin po siya.
Honorable Ridon, if I may interrupt.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Kanina po, Mr. Madriaga, you made mention of a lot of pictures attached to your supplemental affidavit. Meron ho ba itong kaugnayan dun sa pinupunto nyo na kayo'y personal na kilala ng Vice Presidente?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Perhaps, Honorable Ridon, we can flash these pictures
Yes.
attached to the affidavit of Mr. Madriaga.
Yes, Madam Chair. Can we direct the Secretariat please to project the supposed annexes?
The committee secretariat is directed to flash the pictures attached to the affidavit of Mr. Ramil Madriaga.
So that we can provide context to Mr. Mariaga's statement disputing the position of the Vice President that she does not know Ramil Madriaga and that she does not have a professional or personal relationship with Mr. Madriaga. What is being flashed, Madam Chair, is Annex B of the supplemental affidavit. No? Baka magandang magbigay po kayo ng paglilinaw dito sa litrato po na ito.
Yung buong election campaign po, madalas po kami nag-video conference, nag-update kami. At sa ganitong pagkakataon po, may ilang abogado po rito na mga lawyers ng ISIP. Ako, si Attorney Ryan Kilala, at si BP Sara lang po ang nagsasalita. Yung mga members po ng ibang region, hindi naman po sila nagsasalita. Nakikinig lang sila, nanonood lang sila, pero kami lang po, 4 o 5 lang ang nag-uusap tungkol dun sa activity sa campaign.
Well, marami pong, Mr. Madriaga, marami pong mga tao, no? Can we zoom into the names of those in the annexes, just so we can see?
We ask the resource person to approach our big screen here so he can point to the personalities in the picture and state the names of these people in the picture for the guidance of the justice members. Please approach the big screen. Kindly provide a microphone to Ramil Madriaga, Comsec.
Hello.
Ito po nakalimutan ko na po yung pangalan, pero taga rito lang po siya sa Cubao. May-ari ng isang security agency, yung commander. Pero nakalimutan ko na po yung pangalan niya. Isa po siya sa officers ng Quezon City ISIP. Ito po. Ito po si BP Sara. Yung next po, Isip Tondo. Si Tubera po sa Isip Pilipinas Basketball. Isip Tondo rin po siya. Yun nandun po sa Isip, mga military po sa Joint Special Operations Group. Si Suarez, Air Force. Tapos si BP Sara, then si Attorney Ryan Kilala ng Office of the Ombudsman. At yung kanya pong may bahay si Rhea Kilala. Ito po.
Yan. Please pull it a little down.
Ito po si...
A little down, a little down.
Ito po si Essex Polintan, presidente po ng ISIP Pilipinas. Buong national president po namin. Ito po si Essex Polintan. Tapos si...
Sino po yan?
Essex Polintan po. Lord Essex Polintan, presidente po ng ISIP Pilipinas. Siya po yung presidente namin. At siya po si Attorney Ryan Kilala. Si Anjo Bito ng ISIP Kainta. Ito po, hindi ko po kilala kung... Hindi ko po mamukaan kasi marami po sila. Ito po sa ISIP Ladies.
Nasaan po kayo dyan?
Yung po naman sa red seat po, nasa loob ng sasakyan.
Kayo po yung nasa dulo.
Opo, yun nasa naka-black po.
Pakituro nyo po kung nasan kayo dyan. Pakituro nyo po. Okay. Pakibaba po ng konti para ma-identify ni Mr. Madriaga. Yung ibang kasama sa video. Pakibaba po ng konti. Lalong tumataas. Ano ba yan? Okay. Paki-identify po yung nasa second row.
Si BP Sara po, si Rhea Kilala, si Attorney Ryan Kilala, si BP Sara po ulit, yung nasa far left.
So isang video conference po ba yan?
Opo, yung mga chief po, yung mga regional head po ng ISIP, tsaka yung iba-ibang...
Bakit po ang dami ng pictures ni VP if that is just one video conference? Isa lang ho ba yan o maraming video conference yan?
Hindi ko po alam kung sa Facebook po yan ng ISIP Pilipinas nila nakuha. Pero yung original po yan, nasa main Facebook ng ISIP Pilipinas movement. Hindi ko po alam kung ba't siguro pinag-combine. Hindi po nakakulong po ako, hindi ko po makakolect yung mga evidences.
Madam Chair, earlier po, Ginoong Madriaga, may nabanggit po kayo doon sa mga larawan na kayo po ay nagbigay ng painting kay VP Sara. Pwede niyo po bang ituro nasaan dyan yung painting na sinasabi ninyo at kung kailan niyo po ito binigay sa kanya? Salamat po.
Because there is no painting in the picture. Honorable Sendanya, is there?
Meron.
Okay. Can we flash again the picture? Where's the painting? Okay. What is the relation of that painting into your supplemental affidavit, Mr. Madriaga?
Nagregalo po ako sa kanya ng isang painting niya na ginawa po ng isang scholar ko sa Laguna. May mga scholars po ako sa Laguna. May isa po talagang talented fine arts. Pinagawa ko po ng painting na yan. Tapos kinuha po ng Presidential Security Group sa bahay sa Laguna. Ito po yun. Dalawa po yan. Yung isa po nasa bahay ko sa Laguna, isa po.
May I just place on record that the resource person is pointing on the painting behind the VP, the Vice President, as the one he gave as gift to the same.
Madam Chair, just a follow-up question. Ginoong Madriaga, meron po bang okasyon o ano po ang dahilan ng pagbibigay natin noong painting na ito sa Vice Presidente?
With all due respect, Honorable Sendanya, the question is already outside what appears in the picture. I have to prevent that kind of question because that will be probing already.
Just like what Kong Rufus Rodriguez said, I always submit to the wisdom of the chair.
Thank you. Okay, so maybe we can flash the next pictures. Hindi nyo ba mapahaba yan? Mr. Madriaga, what is the relevance of this picture to your supplemental affidavit?
Yan po si OBP spokesman Reynold Monsayak na isa pong kasama namin sa EC Pilipinas.
Okay, I think Mr. Mardiaga can return to his seat at this point, Madam Chair. So we can proceed with the questions. Hindi ako nga.
Next picture, please.
All right, sige po. Just to finish all of the, kasi malabo po yung kopya ng mga miyembro, no? Doon po sa mga annexes. Maybe we can ask Mr. Mariaga on the annexes of the pictures, no? So, pasukin na po natin itong Annex C. Sino po ito, Ginoong Mariaga?
Yung nasa bandang kanan po, si Attorney Ryan Kilala ng Office of the Ombudsman. Yung katabi po niya, yung kanyang may bahay, si Rhea Fortuna Kilala. At ako po yung nasa bandang kaliwa.
Comridon, maybe we can request again Madriaga to come close to the big screen so he can point to the individuals shown in the picture. Please provide a microphone.
Siya po si Attorney Ryan Kilala ng Office of the Ombudsman.
Okay?
Tapos yung katabi po niya naka-black shirt si Rhea Fortuna Kilala, yung kanyang
Okay.
misis. Ito po yung wife ng anak ko, ito po yung anak ko at yung may bahay ko po. Ako po yung nasa dulo.
All right. So, is it included in your affidavit,
Opo.
the incident
Opo, opo.
of that picture? What
Opo,
is that incident?
Sa supplemental po.
Ano po bang incident ang tinutukoy niyo dyan?
Wedding po nung anak kong panganay.
And you mentioned that in your affidavit?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Okay. So next picture, please. Ay, sayang.
Sige po, pakipaliwanag po ito. Kasi for the record, Madam Chair, I think yung isa sa mga main pagkakasangkot, no, ni Mr. Madriaga kay VP Sara ay yung pong kanyang participation sa ISIP Pilipinas, no. So, can you provide context of this annex, Mr. Kilala? Ito po ba yung sinasabing pagsama po ninyo sa mga kampanya para sa atin po nga pangalawang Pangulo?
Opo, ito po yung main page ng EC Pilipinas. Yung EC Pilipinas movement po na sa Bicol. Ito po ako yung pag nangangampanya po kami, may 4 po kaming ban na Champura Duterte na umiikot po buong Pilipinas, iba-ibang region. Ako po yung may hawak ng isa. Sa pangalan ko po itong ban na to sa Madriaga po yung, ako po yung
Okay po.
may-ari.
Alright. Punta ko sa Annex E. I think ito po ay dagdag pong mga litrato ng inyo pong pag-ikot sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Pilipinas. Ay.
Opo, ito po yung ban. Sa ano po to? Sa General Nakar, Quezon.
Sino po yung mga kasama niyo dyan?
mga group leader po namin, mga nasa taga, ano po sila, General Nakar, tsaka taga Infanta, Isip Infanta.
Okay, we can proceed to Annex D2, Madam Chair, so that he can continue identifying the pictures. Ito naman po, saan naman po itong kampanyahan po na ito?
Parang ano po sa, di ko po magkakamali, sa Norte po to, San Fernando o Ilocos na po kami. Sila po yung San Fernando, Isip
Nasaan po kayo
Pilipinas.
dyan, Mr. Madiaga?
Ako po yata yung nag-picture sa kanila pero may ibang kuha po ako na sa Facebook ko na.
Okay, pumunta po tayo sa Annex D4. Next page. Yan, saan naman po itong lugar na ito, Mr. Madiaga?
Infanta po, Infanta Quezon.
Sino po yung mga kasama po ninyo dito?
Ito po ko sa BBM po, Mandaluyong. Kay mga close friend po ni Presidente Bongbong.
Sino po dyan?
Sila po dalawa, kay kapitbahay po ni Secretary Abalos. Nakasama rin po namin umiikot.
Meron po kayong pangalan nila?
Nakalimutan
Kahit yung
sa Facebook ko po kasi tinag ko sila. Hindi ko po
We can proceed to Annex D5.
Sa Pampanga po, sa Lubao. Siya po yung presidente ng Lubao Isip. Sa Lubao. Lubao, Pampanga po.
Meron
Sa ano
po kayong
to?
pangalan?
Pineda po. Pineda. Ang name po niya.
Alright. Puntahan natin yung Annex D6. For the record, the annexes under D are mostly campaign pictures po, Madam Chair. Right. We can go to Annex E. This is a picture of the Vice President. Baka pwede ipaliwanag po niyo yung context nitong annex na ito. Bakit po ito nakalagay?
Dito po yung una po kami muna yung nag-uusap bago nag-join yung iba. Kasi gusto ko pong malaman kaya po pinag-join ko yung ibang members ng ISIP nationwide para makita po nila na nag-uusap po kami ni BP Sara para po ma-motivate sila na si BP Sara po ang, Mayor Sara po ang nagpipreside sa amin.
Okay. We can go to Annex G. Yan po. Baka pwede ipaliwanag po natin yung konteksto ng litrato po na ito. Kailan po ito nangyari?
Makikipag-meeting po kami, hindi po ito kampanya. Makikipag-meeting po kami kay BP Lenny sana sa simbahan po nila BP Lenny ito, alas 10 po ng gabi. Balik kami lang po isip, yung security ko po yung nasa likod sa isip. Tsaka po yung mga PSG lang po ang kasama namin, hinihintay po namin si BP Lenny. Pero hindi po nagpakita.
Hindi. Pero sino po yung katabi niya dyan?
Si BP Sara po, tapos yung mga security ko po.
Hindi. Pero ano po yung event na meron? Ibig sabihin, nagkita po si VP Lenny tsaka si VP Sara?
Ayun po yung usapan kasi hindi na po kampanya to eh. Umuwi na po kami, then we were told to proceed that discharge para i-meet si BP Lenny. Pero hindi po siya nagpakita, kaya nagkwentuhan na, alas 10 po ito ng gabi, wala na pong ibang tao doon.
So ano po yung petsa po nito pagkatapos po ng halalan?
Before pa po, Madam Chair, before pa po, Your Honor.
Paki-identify po kung sino yung lalaki nakatabi ni BP Sara.
Sino po yung katabi ni VP Sara po dito?
Ako po to, Camila, dalawa lang po kaming may t-shirt na ganito na binigay ni BP Sara at signed ng...
Alright. We can go to the next slide. Annex G1. Ito naman po, Ginoong Madiaga, ano naman po yung konteksto ng litrato na ito?
Ay, ito po yung hinanap, hindi ko po, pero pagkaka-recall ko po, ito po yung pagdating ni BP Sara sa Matnog, na nandun po ako sa loob ng sasakyan ko sa Land Cruiser, tapos hinahanap niya po ako dahil wala po ako eh. Tinitignan niya po. Ang iniwan ko po doon yung presidente, si Pulintan, pero hinahanap niya ako. Kaya pinasinundo po ako ng PSG Tapos tsaka po niya ako, may iaabot po pala siya sa akin. Tapos may sasabihin po kung saan next naming punta.
Sino yung nakamas na naka-green?
Ako po yun, Madam Chair. Ako po yun.
Okay,
Your
sino po
Honor.
yung kaharap ninyo na nakaputi?
Si Mayor Sara po noon nung kampanya.
Okay.
Di po ako nagpapakita sa kanya in public kasi usapan po namin ni Presidente as much as possible secrecy. Yung kampanya lang po hindi maiwasan talaga. Tsaka hinahanap niya po ako eh. Wala po akong plano magpakita.
All right. Next slide. Annex G2. So yan din po yung kanina. Ibang litrato lang. Ibang kuha.
Opo. Opo.
Annex G3.
Ito po. Ito po si BP Sara, kalimutan ko na po, PSG po ni Presidente Duterte. President po na isip Pilipinas. Si Richard Babagay po yung kasama ko ngayon sa kaso. Tsaka ako po.
Yan din po ba yung same event doon sa nauna pong litrato kanina?
Yes sir, ayan po. Yung video po.
All right. Annex H. That's a photo.
Excuse me, is that a video?
Video po sir.
Asan na yung video? Wala namang video eh.
May video po pati.
Do you have a copy of the video? May video po ba yun? Ato. Sino po yung nakaputi na may hawak ng bandera kanina?
Si Mayor Sara po.
Kanino niya binigay yung bandera?
Sa akin po.
Sa inyo po?
Opo.
Pwede paki-replay po. Sino sumigaw ng Sir Ram? Sino po yung sumigaw ng Sir Ram?
Hindi ko po alam kung mga isip Pilipinas Bicol. Ay si BP Sara po yung
Pwede po rewind po.
yung sasalita.
Ito, ayan o. Ayan, Sir Ram. Yun.
Si BP Sara.
Sino po yung Sir Ram na tinatawag niya?
Ako po, Your Honor, ako po, Madam Chair.
Kayo po.
For the last time, can we replay it? Can we replay it? I wish to place on record that there is a voice which says, Sir Ram, when the video shows the Vice President handing the flag to Ramil Madriaga. And during the presentation of this video, resource person Ramil Madriaga identified the voice to be that of the Vice President while she's handing it to him, he being Sir Ram. That is for the record.
Madam Chair,